please welcome to the stage 2023 Laureate inductee Lou Maroun.
I started off this evening sort of honored and humbled. I'm almost embarrassed listening to David Dingwall. I really do appreciate the comments that he made. I thank, by the way, thank all of you for being here this evening. I really appreciate the fact that you're celebrating with us. I'm actually honored to be here, given the stories that I've just heard about my three other companions who were inducted this evening as well. Quite fascinating and wonderful stories. I also want to thank you for participating and being part of Junior Achievement, because we need these kinds of organizations. We sometimes get mesmerized by bringing big businesses into our provinces. I'm old enough that I marched on Black Friday in Sydney, Nova Scotia when they were shutting down the steel plant in Cape Breton. And I watched Cape Breton suffer year after year after year with so many efforts to bring back in big businesses, when the reality is that it's our small businesses that could create the value in our whole country. Small business, responsible for more employment than all of the large businesses in our country. So we never want to forget that. We want to encourage these young people. There's a common expression you hear a lot, and it's in all different industries, but the self-made man, the self-made millionaire, the self-made billionaire. There's some idiots down in the US who use that expression a lot. I have never been able to get my head around that one, because we're all the result of the families we grew up in, the high schools we went to, the universities we went to, the people in our community who influence us. And I have many people to thank. It starts to some extent with my parents, who, God bless them, were crazy enough every time I said, I've got an idea. They would look at me and they go, wait a minute, is it legal, moral, and ethical? Yes, yes, yes. We will support you then. Whatever it is after that, we will be behind you. And they really did. And it was a wonderful thing to have that kind of support all the time. My wife, by the way, some of you might have met her during the reception. For the last 29 years, she's been by my side encouraging. And every now and then, something wonderful happens, and she says to me, can you believe it? Here you are, this small town boy from Cape Breton. Can you really believe what you just did? And she encourages me, to like keep going and keep doing more of it. I've had business mentors, thank God, in my early part of my life, and people who inspired, even if they weren't my mentors. And I know it's dangerous to start talking about people and saying this is who I thank and who and so on, but when I was growing up in Sydney, there were two brothers who were incredible business people, Harold Schwartz and Irving Schwartz. And what appealed to me about them was not just how successful they were, it's how successful they were without damaging anyone else around them. How successful they were while bringing people up with them. And I found that very inspiring. Some of you may remember the name Hector Porter, but Hector Porter was the man who sort of took me under his wing way back in 1978 and sort of encouraged me to set up one of my first businesses and kind of guided me through that. The poor guy, he passed away so early in life, but was another interesting person who did wonderful things without damaging anyone else. I grew up next to a family in Sydney. By the way, I talk about being a very proud Nova Scotian. Don't ever forget what he mentioned. I am a very proud Cape Bretoner. Don't mean to upset my mainland friends, but So I grew up in a neighborhood next to this family, big family, but they looked after each other, and they're a wonderful, successful family. And I've always looked up to this one particular. He was the oldest person in the family, much older than all the rest of us. But he kind of looked after all of us, not just his own siblings, but the rest of us in the neighborhood. Extraordinarily successful man today, and yet so incredibly humble. So there are a lot of people who've been influential. You know, Al McPhee comes up to me tonight to sort of reintroduce himself. Even though he and I didn't spend a lot of time together, I knew about Al McPhee. I looked up to him. I am proud of people in Nova Scotia who do a great job but contribute. So many times when we fail in business, it's because we think we know. And we don't know. I know that I'm good at dreaming up businesses, creating businesses, initiating them, kickstarting them. But I suck at running businesses. I am just the worst. My wife tells me that I'm a great problem solver, but I suck at organization. And she's absolutely right. Ross Drake, John Robbins, Paul Dykeman, Kim Hill in Ontario, these are the people that I brought on 28 and 30 some years ago because I knew what I didn't know. And I think it's so profound for us to remember that we have to know what we don't know. I can't thank you folks enough for being here tonight. I'm, like I said, not only honored, I'm somewhat embarrassed. Some of the others that I saw come up here tonight, incredible. As business people, all of us, including my three, Earl and I who are here tonight, the other business people, the Al McPhees of the world, the Don Mills of the world, money is not enough to help young people. They need it. Like, don't ever think that that's not important. They need the money. They need our help. And when people say to me, well, I don't know what it is I can help someone with, I said, I'll tell you what you can help people with. You can pick up the phone. They can't. I can call the head of the bank to tell him that he's got to do something for this young person who needs a loan. I can call the guy who does equity desk securities in the capital markets to say, listen to this person come in to tell you about why they want to start a new business. As business people, senior business people who are successful, we have connections that young people do not. That's what they need from you. Yes, they need your money, but more importantly, they need that help. And that's what I encourage all of us who are in this world of business to do. For the people that are in junior achievement, the people who are in business courses, whether at Cape Breton University or otherwise, we have to give them that hand. Please do that for them. And thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm honored.